So if you ignore all the other parts of health and all you're focused on is this aesthetic part and you have terrible relationship health with your spouse, good luck trying to tackle that other one. You're doing it in the wrong order. Go repair that and really solidify that. And then when you're unified, tackling that is so much easier.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the latest episode of the Metabolism and Menopause podcast. My name is Stephanie, and I'm your host and CEO of Vitality OET. We are a women's nutrition, health, and fitness coaching company that focuses predominantly on women's hormones, particularly as they start going through perimenopause and onwards. We know that so many women struggle with symptoms in this time of their life, whether it's the hot flashes, the night sweats, irritability, brain fog, or waking around the middle. That seems to come out of absolutely nowhere, despite you not changing anything. So you go back to those tried and true methods of cutting calories, cutting carbs, doing a bunch of cardio, yet it feels like nothing is working. You are putting in all this effort and you are just moving backwards. But we know now that your body is inherently different. So our mission here at Vitality is to really help you understand how your body changes in this time in your life, so you can reach those health and fitness goals, feel in control and at home in your body again, live a life full of vitality, and really understand how to take care of this new body of yours. So today I had the pleasure of having my friend Adam Schaefer from Mind Pump on the podcast, and we were going to talk about how to navigate, trying to get fit with your spouse and if they're not supportive. And we went so deep on relationship dynamics and raising healthy families and raising healthy kids and how that just bleeds into your health and fitness journey. There was so many good nuggets that I am going to bring into our relationship as well, because it was just such a good conversation. Share it with your husband, share it with your wife, share it with your family, your kids. There is going to be so many things that help improve their relationship and their health for the better. I hope you enjoy this conversation as much as I did. So Adam, thank you again for being here. It's always so funny just chatting with you, because I remember just early on in my health and fitness journey of wanting to be a personal trainer and listening to you guys for hours when I'm driving and in between school and stuff. And so it's always so cool to, just be like, I can't believe it's here and we're chatting and it's just so cool. So thanks for hopping on.
I'm trying to remember when the first time that we met, even in person, it's been years now, a long time ago.
Yeah.
The very first event that you had been to, it's been a long time now. How many years? Do you remember when it was? What year it was?
Oh gosh, that would have been, I think, early 2022 or 2023, I think. Because I flew out there for an event, and that was before you guys had changed the whole gym and stuff in the studio too.
Yeah.
So you guys hadn't done all the renos yet. So
yeah, I think it's at least that far back. I thought it was even further back. It's been a while.
Yeah, honestly, no, you know what? I think it was before that, because it was an event in Phoenix, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a hot minute. It's been a while.
I guess closer to 4 or 5 years ago at least. Yeah. So.
Well, anyways, thanks for being here. It's always fun to be able to chat again.
Always a pleasure. Love what you're doing. I think you're doing such great work in the space. So love coming on here and catching up with you.
Yeah. Okay. So today I thought that we would chat a little bit about just how to navigate just life in general a little bit with your health, because it feels like a lot of women that I talk to are just I give so much at work and I am trying to be, the good daughter, taking care of my parents who might be getting sick and, the bills, and also trying to be a great wife and a great mom. And it feels like I'm giving to everyone else. And then you get the whole thing of, oh, I just wish I had my wife back. And you're like, yeah, I wish I had her back too. I'm exhausted. And so how do you kind of maintain being an entrepreneur and relationship and your health? How do you kind of navigate that? Because I think a lot of people really struggle with that whole concept of, how do you do it all? People look from the outside looking and are like, oh, you've got it all together. But what does that kind of look like for you?
Well, first of all, I don't think any of us have it all together. I think that, full disclaimer, I don't think I'm even an expert on it, although I've been doing it for a long time, right? So my wife and I have been together for 16 years. My son's coming up, he's going to turn 7 this year. So we've had a kid for a while. Yeah. We just passed 11 years of having Mind Pump, and so which has multiple businesses under it. So you could say that I'm a pretty busy guy. I also work with my wife, right? So that could add some complexity to a relationship. So we and we've been working together for the entire time of this business, and so that adds another layer. And so we've had to build some systems, rules, priorities around our relationship, our business relationship, our home relationship, the way we raise our son. And I've learned a lot. I think both of us have learned a lot. And I think first and foremost is prioritizing each other. One of the rules or the things that we have is I have surrendered my calendar to her. Is that and the reason why that we've decided in that order could be the opposite or the other person in the relationship. If maybe you're this person, she's more organized than I am, and I'm also the one most likely to put my head down and blinders on and just keep going. And I can do that. It's a strength and a weakness of mine, and I recognize that. And so even being in leadership, even controlling most of my life, I've been able to go, okay, I'll surrender this to my wife, and she has full control of that. And it was at first that it was a challenge to give that up and that control, but I recognized early our relationship was most important. The thing that I heard from her early on was that I can do that. And hey, don't forget to look up and see me, and when was the last time we've done this? And so like I can definitely be that person. So one of the rules was like she's got full control. So if she ever feels like that, and this happens all the time. Like it just happened literally like 3 weeks ago. I open up my calendar and I go, what's this thing on Friday? And she's like, yeah, mom's watching Max. You and I are gonna go for a drive and we'll go stay at one of our favorite hotels. And I'm like, we've got this going on. And I always begrudgingly agree, right? I always talk about this is a terrible time, and this is why we surrendered it, because if left to me, I will always make a reason why there's something I have to do, right? Or a thing I got to work on, or the fire I got to put out. And, she's always been really good about reminding me of that. All that stuff will always be there when we get back. And we've always agreed that we have to come first in our relationship. And I think that is even in the health journey, right? Like having a healthy relationship is the foundation of being healthy, I think. And so, she gets that full control. And I, no matter how much I go kicking and screaming, I always end up, once I'm there, going, God, I love you. Thank you. Thank you for making me do this. And you were right. And we should be here. And and then we unplug. And that's another rule too for us is like, we both work hard. We both have a lot going on business wise, but when it's family time and we're home, it shuts down. Phones are put away. Laptops are put away. It's time for my son, my wife and I to connect. And so those are just some of these rules that we've done. We also, I read 3 really important books almost a decade ago now. And I used to get teased by the guys when I was kind of beating the drum back then, but I think more people are aware now. But I read the book Irresistible by Adam Alter, I think is his name. So Irresistible, iGen, I think iGen is Gin Tory or something like that, and then Unplugged. And all of these books are about just warning us of the dangers and the addictive properties of tech. And so this was long before my son even came into the picture. And I already saw my own behaviors around it. My entire business is built off of social media and platforms like this. So I could see how it had its pull. And I can also see how I can justify, I'm working. Well, I could always be working because I'm at all times there's a clip of me or comments about what we do. And so we just made this a hard rule for ourselves. And then when we had our son, he's coming up, like I said, on 7 years old, and he doesn't have any tech in his life. Like there's no iPad. There's obviously no phone either. We make a point to connect in the real world. We play a lot of board games. We build a lot of Legos. We do a lot of interactive stuff like that. And I just think that's so important. I think that's a big piece of this too. Really easy. And I totally understand this is not coming from a place of judgment. Because I have very close friends that work really hard also. And the tech can be this break for them, right? And it can be used as a babysitter. And I know that can be very tempting to want to do that. But I think it's a very slippery slope. And then you lose that connection and bond that you have with your child, that you have with your wife. And listen, it's not, and I wasn't perfect when we set these boundaries and rules out, and either was she. And so, but we agreed on them early. And we hold each other accountable, because I'm still guilty of the phone's in my pocket and I'm sitting in the living room and we're playing Uno, and my phone keeps vibrating, and the temptation to pull it out, and then it happens to be something kind of urgent, and so then the next thing you know, I'm doing it, and then and my son will call me out, so he'll be like, "Daddy, put your phone away," and it's like, "Ooh, yeah." So it's so a no-no in our family that everybody can call each other out, and you're right, and then it gets put over on the counter with that. Or if it's an absolute emergency, Daddy's got to go take this, and I'll walk upstairs, go in our office, and I'll handle something, and then I'll come back. But I never want my son or my wife to feel like I'm there, but I'm not there.
Yes.
And I think that sometimes is even more important than the time or the amount of time that we spend, but the quality that we spend, I think, is so important. And so you could spend 4 hours with your wife and your kid, but be distracted on your phone, and it'd be less valuable than 30 minutes to an hour of full connectivity, of a board game with no tech, or just dinner with each other and conversation. And so these are things that, if you don't talk about it and agree upon it with your partner, I think it's really easy for it to slip away and to justify it. And so Katrina and I are lucky that we were older parents. We're in our mid 40s and we have a very young kid, and we're wise enough to kind of like have these types of conversations before they happen, and agreed, like, where do you stand on this? How do you feel about this? What do you want to be our bedrock of our relationship? And yeah, so I surrendered the calendar. That was a big one. We agreed, but also have breaks and know that the fires will still be there. The work will always be there, and how important that is. And our ability to do that is just, we've been able to manage such a strong connection and bond. And I've actually only felt us over 16 years get closer and tighter and fall more in love, which tends to be the opposite a lot of times. A lot of people talk about the honeymoon phase, before the kid and all the things. And it was like, we were, sex was amazing, connection was amazing, we did all these things. And then work happens, kid happens, and then it kind of turns into this like divide and conquer. And couples, go their opposite direction. It's like, oh, you got the house, I got the kid, or you make the money, I'll do the thing. And you think you're working as this team, and you kind of are, but you're just surviving, and you're not really thriving. And I think that we knew that we'd seen enough relationships like that. We were able to have those conversations and agree upon things. Another exercise that we do, and a kind of a rule, if the same thing as the calendar thing, if we feel like we're not being connected, listening to an audiobook has been a massive hack for me with my partner. So like, we'll agree on a book. Like if we've gone like months have gone by and her and I haven't done this is like always an automatic go-to move for us. It's like, hey, we haven't gone through an audiobook together in a while. And the connection that we get from lying in bed, listening to an audiobook, compared to watching our favorite Netflix show or some bullshit on TV is night and day different. In fact, most times that we listen to an audiobook ends up stirring up great conversation and dialogue and intimacy afterwards. And again, it's something that it doesn't just come natural. We have to work and do those. We have to make those choices and hold each other accountable of that. And we have agreed and cared about that stuff from the jump. And so if there's ever times that we feel that way, we bring that back in. We make sure that we do those things. And those are just a handful that come to mind right away of like how we've maintained relationship health. And when our relationship is healthy, we also support each other. In fact, we have this, like Katrina did to me yesterday. Crazy long day, busy. I had just come off of, I was gone for 4 days. I haven't had a lift in almost a week now. And I'm like, oh, I gotta get my gym session in. And she's texting me and she's like, hey, you got to go to the gym for the team. You got to go to the, like, she's telling me to go do that. And I'll go. And so we have this, like, we will never pull each other down. We're always trying to support each other in their health and fitness journey. And sometimes that looks like I don't get to go. And I'm telling her that because I know she's like, I got to get this back. I haven't been doing this. And it's like, hey, I've been in a rhythm. I can miss 3 days in a row of the gym. I'm going to be fine. I'm healthy. I'm good. Everything's on like, so we have this cool little balance of understanding that as a team, we try and keep each other healthy. And sometimes it looks like she's kicking ass in a direction and I'm not so much, and vice versa, but we're always supporting each other in that way. And I think that all stems from that foundation of those rules and the things that we put in place early to support all the other things that branch off from that.
Well, and I think like the default really is like to drift backwards, right? Like you're not going to drift into like a great relationship. It's not going to accidentally, you're going to wake up one day and be super fit. Like the default is to drift backwards, right? Like to regress. And I think a lot of people are like, oh, I got married, I had the kid, checkbox, and then things kind of just, are status quo. But really, you're moving forward or you're moving backwards. Like there's not a ton of like just staying as is. Same with health, same with all those things. And with Taylor and I, we're very big on like every week we just do a check-in of like, okay, what was hard for you this week? What was great this week? Like what brought you joy? How can I help you this week? And like, how can I pray for you? Because that's always like a big part for us. But it's a good way to just get like a temp check of like, last week was rough. I know this week's gonna be like hectic with work. Like if you can just handle dinners this week, that'd be awesome. Mind you, he does like 99% of the cooking now, which I'm super appreciative of. But like, you have to do that. Like for us, like if we didn't check in, the default would be like, I'm exhausted, you're exhausted. Let's numb out and just like watch Netflix, go to bed, repeat. Like that's just how the day would kind of go, right? And so like, I think just like being intentional, but I think it's just so hard.
You said the word that I've been waiting to say to you. It's intentional. It's being intentional.
Hey, real quick before we jump back into the episode, this week it is my birthday and we are doing something incredibly fun to celebrate. We are giving one woman 3 months of one-to-one coaching completely free. And a few lucky women will receive a runner-up prize of $800 off of our 6-month coaching program. If you've been thinking about working with us, this is your moment. You've got nothing to lose. All the details on how to enter will be in the show notes for you. All right, let's head back to the episode.
The key of what you're talking about and what I'm talking about is being intentional. I'll tell you another awesome hack. This came from John Deloney or Arthur Broke. John Deloney, I think, gave me this one, which was so huge. Okay, so Katrina, here's another thing that makes marriages really challenging and difficult too, and staying on the same page is like how different we were raised, right? Like Katrina and I couldn't come from different family backgrounds, right? And so even if we agree that mine wasn't the best background or hers, like we're going to see things totally different. And if we don't communicate certain things, so in our relationship, so this is me being transparent with one of the hardest things in our relationship has been my inability to integrate into the way their family does everything, because I had the opposite. Like my family is distant, don't speak to each other. We had very, like Christmas holidays was just my brother and sister, me, mom, dad type of deal. And Katrina is the opposite. Families at our house 3 times a week. Every time someone makes a decision in the family, everybody gets together and we all talk about it as a family. Holidays, 20, 30 people spend the night in the same little 4-bedroom house. Like it is the opposite. And it's all the time. And it was overwhelming for me early on, really overwhelming and really difficult for me. Much different than I have my son. It's come full circle, and it's been such a blessing and amazing to see the difference of what happened after I had my son. But this was really difficult early on. And John Deloney gave one of the most game-changing hacks for me and Katrina, which was simply this. Like when you're getting ready to go into a day, like in an example like this that would always end up being challenging many times especially for me, is the big family event type of stuff, because I would be always wanting to go early or not my normal social self. Like my wife is used to seeing me, but then here I am with family. I'm not right. So was right before we go do this thing is asking each other, how do you see this day going?
Oh, that's so smart.
Like, that's it. Like, literally, and I can't tell you, after we implemented this, we never got into it ever again over this. And what he communicated that, like, was this huge aha moment for me was the only reason why there was ever any friction there was because before we went about this day, I had something envisioned how it was going to play out. She had something envisioned how it was going to play out, and it was completely different. And just simply by going, how do you think this day is going to go play out today? And asking each other, we would go, oh, wow, you thought we were going to stay till 10 o'clock? Oh, we're drinking tonight? Oh, we're going to stay oh, I thought we were going to leave at this time. Or, oh, I thought we weren't even going to, I thought we agreed. Like, we would all of a sudden realize how different of a vision that we had for that day, and just having that conversation. And what was beautiful about that was each of us got to share. I thought we were leaving at noon and not drinking. She thought we were staying the night and drinking. And I'm like, whoa, we're like, so then we go, okay, well, I want to stay longer than noon, and you know what, we don't need a drink, and I don't mind coming home. What if we stay till after dinner? We come home at 9. You don't drink tonight. I don't drink tonight. Like, cool. I love that. That's fair. And we would agree before we go. Holy crap, game changer.
Oh yeah, because if you have like unmet expectations, like you just get like resentful and frustrated.
Yes.
That is so smart.
It's a hack for everything. Before you go to the theme park, before you go to a party, before you go to do something with your partner, recognize how different you both are in some areas, and how you're both already telling a story in your head of how it's going to go, and simply just sharing that story before you go allows you both to go, oh, you saw this going totally different than what I thought. Yeah. I thought we were going to do this. Oh, I thought that, like, okay, well, can we agree on this, or can we do that? And sometimes like it would be a complete compromise on my part, but now I'm prepared. Like, so sometimes it would be like, oh man, I really wanted to come home at this time, but you know what? We haven't done that in a long time. Like, okay, cool. I'm glad I asked you. Like, it looks like it's good. And now I'm mentally prepared. Yeah, we're staying till midnight. It's going to be one of those nights, and so I'm there. I'm there to ride with my wife, and we haven't done that in a while, and she really wants to do that, and vice versa. There'd be many times where she's like, you know, we just had one of those, like, we can cut out early. Like, we just had a long family day the other day, and it was like, just mind-blowing difference in our relationship, because that was a big
so funny
struggle for us. Was only in those moments where we saw, and for us, it was the family dynamic, because we were so different there, right? But it works for everything. It works for going to a theme park, going on a vacation.
Totally.
We practice this all the time. We'll stop each other before she's getting her makeup ready, I'm getting dressed, we're getting ready, and we'll stop and go like, hey, how do you see today going? And then you just let each other share. And I tell you, 9 out of 10 times, it's a different story.
Oh yeah, and that will get rid of so much frustration.
So much. Gosh. It was like life-changing for me. I try and share that with all of my friends and be like, if you have no idea, I would make a bet that a large percentage of people's fights are just because of that, because your 100%. Expectations were different. They're not met. You didn't see eye to eye. And if you just simply would have talked about it before you went and just let each other share what they were thinking, and then agreed upon some compromise, whether we completely compromise for one person or the other, or we meet in the middle somewhere, it doesn't matter, because sometimes we do both. Like, sometimes I'm like, whatever you want, and she does that way, and then other times it's like, I definitely don't want to spend the night. It's like, okay, well, let's do this. Or sometimes she's even like, okay with like, you know, I tell you what, why don't you hang out till dinner, and then once you and Max, you guys can go back home, and I'm going to stay with my brother and sister. I'm like, cool. Like, yeah. And so now it doesn't look like I'm the husband who's angry, leaving earlier. Like, my wife knows, like, I wanted to go home and sleep in my bed. I know she wanted to stay up with her brothers and sisters for later. And it's like, just game changer for us. Like that.
Oh my gosh, that's so smart.
I feel like so many people, if they practice, and again, being intentional, right? Yep. Like just that little bit of extra detail of, hey, before we go leave this house, I'm going to ask her, how do you think this is going to go? And vice versa. And having that quick little conversation is just been a massive, massive hack for our relationship.
That's amazing. That is so smart. So I love that, because that will help obviously with so much tension and things like that. And just when your household and relationship is good, everything just becomes easier. But so if we're going to relate that to like a health and fitness journey of like one person, you know, wants to get fit or wants to do something for their health, how to navigate that. Because like my biggest thing is a lot of people don't even realize how challenging of a time their spouse might be going through. Like we talk to clients sometimes and they're like, oh, my husband just like doesn't get it. And I'm like, well, have you told them like how uncomfortable you are or like how you really feel? If they don't know and you don't tell them, like you can't expect them to like support you or know how to support you. But I feel like that can be so tough for some people to bring up. So how do you navigate that when like you really want to, tackle your health, but aren't really sure if you're necessarily going to get the support that, you're hoping for?
Yeah, this is so important, and also one of the hardest things to help a couple out if one is just not supportive. Like this was part of my like non-negotiables of marrying this woman was like, she doesn't need to be ripped or hardcore into fitness or even more into fitness. She has to care about health enough that we agree that we support each other when we're trying to be healthy. Like that was it. Like I know my own habits and I've dated girls that love to eat candy and ice cream, and like I like that stuff. So if I have someone who's like always, every time I go, hey, you want ice cream? She's like, yeah, and we do it. Like that's not good for me. Like I need someone who's like
same. I actually get my husband to hide stuff on me because like it doesn't matter that I'm a health and fitness coach. Doesn't matter like Ferrero Rocher chocolate. I will sit and eat like if it is out, I will legitimately eat 30 of them. Like I'm not even joking. And people are like, but you're a coach. And I'm like, no, it doesn't matter. Like it's the environment. So he literally, I don't know to this day where he hides treats from me, but I have to ask him. And we have a rule of like my limit of how many I'm allowed to have. And I can't get mad at him if he's like, you've already had your 3 or whatever it is. Like we've already like pre-hashed that out because he loves that stuff. He can control himself around it. Chips don't really bug me, but chocolate is like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I cannot. I have no self-control around it.
You and I are alike, and Katrina and your husband are alike. Because she's like that. She's the type where she can have a thing of ice cream in the freezer, and she can take one bite of it for 6 months. Like
that's not me.
And it's like my mindset is like, oh, it's there. I don't want it there. I may as well eat the whole thing in one night, and so it's not there anymore. Like I have a terrible relationship with it. I know that, and so I think, and I do think that the nutrition piece is the foundation, because here's what we have found in our relationship is like, if we agree that we want to eat healthy, we don't always make it to the gym. In fact, there's lots of times where I go a week and I don't get to the gym. And there's lots of times where she goes a week and can't get to the gym. Like that's totally, but if we agree that we want to eat healthy and fuel our body, and by the way, having a son was a huge, easy motivation for us. Like it was, it's been easier for me to be even better eating healthy because I want to model that for my kid. Like my son, this is how crazy my son is, that this is so awesome to see this unfold, 6 years later. So this last Christmas, there's a day we always get where Katrina and all the women in the family, they go do all this stuff at the house to decorate and set stuff up. Me and Max get our daddy day alone. I always take him to go look at Christmas lights and drink cocoa and do this thing. Yeah. And it's, I have him all day, and we hadn't had dinner yet. I'm getting ready. I'm driving him, and I'm like, you know what? I'll swing in and get him some chicken nuggets if he wants some chicken nuggets. And my son refuses to eat chicken nuggets. He's like, no, Daddy, I'll wait till we get home and I'll eat your steak. And it's like, this kid, we've raised him on whole foods so long that the kid doesn't even want any sort of junk food. He just doesn't. And it's cool because we were so consistent with that early on that he ate what we ate, which is a lot of chicken, turkey, steak, veal, all the things. And now he loves that. That's all he likes. We go somewhere, other families think that like we're keeping it from our kid. No, go ahead. Try to give my son a McDonald's burger, see how it goes for you. And he'll throw back the buns and the French fries to you, and he'll eat meat by itself. It's just, oh my gosh. He's trained. And so that the food being the center of like, if we eat and fuel our bodies well, and we agree on that. And by the way, this doesn't mean that Katrina and I don't enjoy ourselves at restaurants here and there and do stuff like that. I'm not by any means perfect. But we eat very healthy 90% of the time and at home and make our food. And even if we do choose to eat out, it's healthy choices like Nick the Greek, which is chicken on the stick type stuff. Like we make those choices because if we eat good, it doesn't take that much stimulation in the gym to keep a healthy, strong physique. And we have these times where I'm holding it down at home so she can get to the gym. Because what happens is if she's been out of a rhythm for a while, she'll come to me and she'll be like, hey, I need you to help support me. I want to get back in my rhythm in the gym. And so that's always a signal to me that like, okay, she comes first right now. So even though I might want to get to the gym tonight because I'm on my rhythm, it's like, I've been in my rhythm. So, and she's trying to get hers. And so I'll take one for the team. Like, I got Max, I'll stay home with him. Like, you go do your thing. I don't want you to miss. Like, that's fine. And we do that back and forth with each other. And a lot of that being intentional and having communication. So she'll, rarely ever are we both in this, like, and I think that's what, like, the misconception on the outside is like, man, they have it all together all the time and they're perfect. Like she works out, he's fit, like it's like, no, it's like, sometimes she's fitter than I am. Sometimes I'm a little bit fitter than her because she's in the rhythm. I'm not really in it. I'm handling other things that are important to us. But if we are generally eating really good, it keeps us in a pretty healthy state. Where people get in trouble is they fall off the wagon, and they really fall off the wagon on they go from not working out, not walking and exercising and movement, to also drinking alcohol, eating garbage and bad food. They're both doing it. And then all of a sudden one of them gets really fed up and goes, I can't handle how I feel, or worse, they go to the doctor and they get some results back they don't like to hear. And now they're like, I need to make this lifestyle change. And the partner's like, well, I'm fine, or I don't mind eating this way, and so there's this friction, and it's, man, that's so hard. And so again, back to the intentional and having communication thing, you've got to, if you're the wife or husband, you've got to express that to your spouse and say, hey, this is really important to me, and here are the things that you could do to help me. And can we agree that we're going to eat from home and cook our meals for dinner every single night? And that right there alone will do wonders. Just making your meals at home and choosing whole foods and good choices goes a long way. And then, hey, occasionally getting to the gym 2 or 3 times a week with walking will keep you really in a very good, healthy state. And it may take a little while if you're way out of shape, but it'll get you there. And I think we swing the pendulum so hard where we eat junk, we drink alcohol, we don't move, and then we want to flip it on 180, and then we also want our partner to get on board all the way to what that's right away. And it's like, okay, first of all, it's not that fast. It takes time. Yeah. And you can make significant change just simply by making. I always like to, when I look at like, let's say diet is not going well. I'm in my, like, what I consider like not good season of eating and training. There's always common offenders. We already touched on ice cream, right? Like, I am just as guilty as anybody else of, starting to once in a while have it, then once in a while it turns into once a week, and then once a week turns into every day. And so I'm very aware of those behaviors. Same thing with I can sit down and have a nice glass of whiskey, and that can turn into once a week, and then all of a sudden it turns into every other night, and then so like I'm aware of all this stuff, and as I think most people are. And so what I don't do is go, hey, I need to make this change, and like I radically change everything. It's like, you know what? Get the ice cream out of the house first. That's the first thing, and I can control that. I don't need my partner to do anything or hold me. I'm just get it out of the house. I'm done with that, or stop the drinking for now. And then it's like, so there's some incremental things that you can do right away. And like, I know if you've listened to our show long enough, you've heard me say this a million times. Like, my goal is always to do as little as possible to elicit the most change. If you're an ice cream every night eater, eliminating ice cream every single night is like a massive change and will already put you towards the healthier direction really fast. Same thing with alcohol. If you're a big alcohol drinking person and you just make your own personal choice to stop doing that, and if you stop, you make that, and hopefully you have a good partner who sees you doing these things. And then when you come to that partner and you go, hey, I've been really good with cutting out the alcohol or cutting out the ice cream, getting my walks in. I really want to take our health and fitness to another level. I could really use your help. Can you help me stay accountable to, let's make our dinners. Let's cook our dinners together. Let's stop the DoorDash. Let's stop the eating out. And can I get that commitment and support you? I hope you married somebody who, if you approach them and you say that to them, they're supportive. If not, then you might have a bigger problem than a fitness journey problem. Like, you might have a bigger problem if you approach your spouse and you have resistance there. Then you don't need my help. You need like a different kind of therapist help to probably help this relationship, because that's not good. That's not good if the person you chose to do life with, do or die, comes to you and says, hey, I really am trying to do this thing. Can I get you to help me do this thing? And they refuse it. Like that's deeper than fitness macro exercise program question. That's like deep relationship shift that you guys probably need to work on. So hopefully you can come to that partner and they can say that. And again, making those little changes and agreeing and that you're on a team. And again, sometimes it looks like this kind of push and pull where I'm in a little more of a rhythm than she's. And what it looks like for us, or at least the way it's worked out for us, is it's very motivating, inspiring to see the other person. Like I know when I get in this kick in this rhythm, like she fires up because she sees me not having the ice cream. She sees me not having the drink, passing on that extra thing. She sees me going to the gym on times when I don't like to go to the gym because it's not like if I had my perfect world, I would get to work out at 3:00 in the afternoon every day. It doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes I have to do it really late or really early or on my weekend when I'd rather be doing something else. And I know when she sees me making those choices, she knows that I'm trying to make that. And I know that inspires her. Like, okay, I can make this happen. It's like, it's this beautiful back and forth of supporting each other. And a lot of it is being intentional. A lot of it is communication. And I think the way we started this conversation, those things I believe come first, like really getting that down. Because then it just becomes, it's another thing that you're communicating with. But if the communication is broken so bad, and then you're blaming it on the husband or the wife that they're not listening to you or they're bringing bad food, it's like, well, we need to go back to the beginning of this conversation and let's talk about some of the other things we talked about, where we're connecting, we're disconnecting from tech, and we're looking at each other, having real conversations. We're getting away from life and just having each other for a while. Like we're reading or listening to an audiobook together. Like maybe that's what you need to do before you overstress the macros and the exercise portion. Because if you're fighting and you have a lot of resistance with your spouse on that, but you haven't done the thing that I was talking about first, well, you're going to have this all day long still on that because you haven't fixed that part first. To me, that part comes first. And then this part becomes a lot easier because you're connected. I mean, when you're off on that trip, staying at that beach resort that you love, and it's just you and her, and you guys are sharing, like, you know what, honey, like, I want to make this year a year of health for me. And I want to make, like, that's the time you get to have that great conversation with that person you love. And you're going to be heard because there's no phone around and it's just you and them connecting. And then when you come back and you're like, we're back home, and it's like, hey, let's go to the grocery store and let's go get all those foods that we talked about. And I'm going to go get that gym membership. Like, but that comes first. Like, do that first. And then it makes the eating macros, going to the gym, cooking your meals, that makes that a lot easier. If you try and do that and you haven't fixed the connection and the relationship part first, it's going to be really difficult. Or you're just accepting you're going to go on it on your own. And that's really hard too, because the divorce rate on that is really high. So partnerships where actually someone gets really fit and the other person doesn't tends to lead to divorce. And what that is more than them getting fit. A lot of people might think that's, because now they're getting all this attention. Right? No, what it is like one of them has chose growth, and the other one is refusing to grow. And that will kill any relationship, regardless if it has to do with fitness or not.
Oh yeah, it kills friendships. I lost so many friends through my entrepreneur journey, like so many. Like it's crazy how when you start, I was like, I'm not going to go out and party anymore. I'm, staying home. I am spending my Sundays messaging people on social media and answering their questions. Like it just becomes so different because you just drift apart because you're growing at a faster rate than someone else or whatever it might be.
Yeah. And I think that's everything, right? So you have to build that first. And then, and we tend to overcomplicate the exercise, the nutrition part. I mean, you handle a special group of people. Like if you're going through menopause, you have hormone imbalances. That's a whole nother level, and that's different, right? Like
it adds an extra layer of stress on the stress that you already had in your relationship.
You're right. It's like if you're struggling with all those other things, and then you throw menopause and hormonal imbalances on top of that, I mean, you're just pouring gasoline on a fire.
Yeah, you're like, you breathing is too much. Like is what we get with people. They're like, it's when it's almost like you're so overstimulated. Like my husband always laughs at me. My cat will lick her paws, and I'm like, where is the nearest shoe to throw at her? Like I cannot. I cannot handle it. And it's not good when the cat turns into your spouse.
That's exactly right. And you know what? That's one of the Katrina and I have always been. I mean, I love that. So she was a D1 collegiate level basketball player, and I love basketball. It's been a passion of mine in sport. So we both love to watch it, and we really approach our relationship like the game of basketball, and we play on a team together.
Yeah.
And there's times when she looks like the point guard and I'm the center. There's times that she looks like she's the center and I'm the point guard. And at all times though, we always agree that it's her and I versus the world, right?
Yes.
And it's like, and any time that we catch ourselves, it doesn't mean that like we're perfect and we don't have our struggles and arguments and disagreements, but we always do catch ourselves in those moments and go like, what are we doing? Like we're on the same team, and we know how toxic and poisonous that can be for any team. Because you're never going to win if you're doing this. Like you're not going to go by yourself and go beat that other team. And so so we got to fix that first. We got to get our team unity and connection and everything out that first fixed, and then we can go tackle all these other goals that we have in life. That's so important. And I think that makes fitness, the getting in shape and losing weight and building muscle, all those things, it can be very difficult. It's extremely difficult if you don't have a strong partnership and a strong foundation. And so don't try and skip that part. And let me tell you, when we talk a lot on the show about that, health is more than just this meat wagon that we walk around in. It's not just my body fat percentage and the muscle I have or not. It's like health is your relationships. It's a lot more than just the aesthetic part that we tended to hyper focus on. And so if you ignore all the other parts of health and all you're focused on is this aesthetic part, and you have terrible relationship health with your spouse, good luck trying to tackle that other one. You're doing it in the wrong order. Go repair that and really solidify that. And then when you're unified, tackling that is so much easier.
Well, and I also think there's like this whole thing of like people are just so afraid to share or to, ask for help. Like so many women that I talk to, they're like, I'm the one people come to for advice. I'm the one who's like the glue. I've been told I'm resilient. I'm strong. I'm that person. And it's like, okay, I get that. Awesome. And it also kind of sucks that you have like people, I always used to hate them. People are like, oh, you're so resilient. I'm like, yeah, bad things always happen to me. Like that was just like, I always used to hate that. But then because people viewed me that way and I kind of like wore that stoically in a way that then when I asked for help, people like didn't really take it seriously when it was like a minor thing. Cause they're like, I don't have to worry about her. She's like the friend that is fine, or she's the daughter that's fine, or the niece that's fine, or whatever. They're like, she can handle it. She'll figure it out. She's good. Don't have to worry about it. And so I was like, I was talking with clients about this. I'm like, you have to let practice almost of like asking for help to even give them the opportunity to be able to do it because they're so used to you just handling it. And so your spouse probably views you a lot the same too. And so it can take time for them to realize that, oh, you actually do need help. And even if you're asking for this minor thing, it's like a big deal of like, can you just like take the clothes out of the washing machine, or can you just load, like, you know what I mean? Just like little things like that. And so then when you ask for a big ask, they're just like, no, like you have to actually practice asking for help to allow people the opportunity to learn that you also actually need help and you have desires that you need support on. And I think a lot of us are just so do it on my own, grind, like I will take it into my own hands. I can do it better on my own, that whole mentality. And I see it a lot in women now compared to, I would say, even like 5 years ago. Like it's so drastic now.
We also have things that we all tell our own stories and things that we care more about, and then we get really frustrated when the other person doesn't care as much about that. I'll give you an example of another thing that was a big hurdle in our relationship that was a big unlock when I figured this out. Like, so I'm the more OCD, neat freak person of our relationship. So I
Same.
like a spotless house. I do not like people to come over my house and it's not clean. I cannot go to bed with a dish in the sink and my kitchen, living room, everything. Like I like to come downstairs first thing in the morning and everything is immaculate. And my wife is the opposite. My wife is very bachelor pad tomboy, college basketball chick type of like no big deal. It's like, and I don't want to paint her as like she's not messy per se because I accept that I'm extreme on that side. So she's not a slob by any means, but I like things really really nice and neat. And she doesn't really care. And it's family who's coming over, so it's not a big deal that the pillow cushions are on the floor and Max's Legos are out. Like I am, right? And this was like a little bit of an issue for probably a good part of the first, I don't know, 5-6 years of our relationship. And the part like where that I kind of dawned on me that I realized after all these times of getting so frustrated that, you know, she wouldn't do the dish and she wouldn't put the thing away. And I was like, I care so much about that. And I want her to care. She doesn't. And it's like, yet she's this amazing woman who does all these other things that are like superpowers. Like I've never met another woman like her. She's the most brilliant business partner I've ever worked with. She's so self-aware. Everybody that's ever met her, absolutely. I mean, she is so special, so dynamic, and does so much in our marriage. And I'm frustrated because she doesn't do the dishes, right? So like I had this moment where I realized like, and this was back when we lived at our place when we first had, right before we had Max. And I realized, you know what, like if I care so much about this, why don't I just do it? She's not the type of person who will sit on the couch and watch Netflix while I'm cleaning the house. She'll probably be doing something else like laundry or working on her business. Or now a lot of times it's getting our son ready. So our rhythm now that we have a son is she's the one who takes him upstairs, puts him in the bath or the shower, gets him dressed, gets him ready for bed, starts the first book for him. Like, and that takes a good half hour to 40 minutes, which is a perfect amount of time for me to completely clean all of my downstairs. And it's like, I've been in other relationships where I've dated girls that are as neat as I am and they just did it. And so in my head, I'm like, well, why doesn't my wife just do that thing? But then I go like, I would never trade those other girls for what an amazing wife that I have now. That's just the one thing she doesn't care as much about. And I care so much. It's like, well, if I care so much about it, why don't I just own it? And I know she's taking care of something else with the relationship or the house that we need. And so it was like this huge moment for me where I was like, man, and how often does that happen in a relationship where one of the partners cares so much about this thing, the way it is, or how we do a thing, and they get so, again, mad when that partner doesn't care as much about that thing. And it's like, well, we're a team, right? And if I care so much about that thing, why don't I go just do the thing? And I have such a badass partner. It's not like she's going to sit on the couch and watch me do the thing. She's going to do some other thing that supports the team. Yeah. And it was like this huge unlock for me. It became like one of my favorite times now. I put on my old man jazz. Sometimes I do have my glass of whiskey. I'm cleaning it downstairs. It's very meditative for me. Like I've learned to love it. Something that used to cause a fight in the relationship turned into something that I absolutely love to do. And then guess what? The house is exactly how I love it every morning when I walk out. It's immaculate when I come down. And it's like, and she's always handling my, there's never this. And sometimes she needs help for me to do that. And then roles flip and it's not a big deal, right? So, but that's how things, it's like, man, I can't think of how many times I see this in a relationship where one person likes something a certain way or wants it and they want their partner to want it as bad as they do. And then it causes all this friction. It's like, and I was talking to my mother-in-law about this. We were having this story. I was telling her this story of like, man, Mom, I remember when this was such an unlock in our relationship. That's like, why do I put that on her? Why do I want her to do it so bad? If I really want to do it, why don't I just step up and do it? I've got the type of wife that if she sees me doing a thing, like she goes and does a thing. It's not like she just, you know what I'm saying? I could get like how that could be a problem if you wanted this thing, you do it, and then the husband just sits on the couch and watches TV or does nothing, or it's just like, you know, say you like your lawn mowed and he's sitting around watching TV while you go out and mow the lawn. That's a different story. But like, again, you got a good partnership and a relationship. Hopefully that partner gets up and does something that helps the family or the team out. And it's like, man, if you want that thing so bad, then go do it. Go do that thing. Make it a priority. And so that was a big unlock. The other big unlock, there was a good Jordan Peterson interview, one of the first interviews he ever did with Joe Rogan. He said this really, I'll summarize and probably destroy it. He said it probably so much more beautifully than I will, but the gist of it was, all of us know what it's like to go on a vacation, right? We've probably planned a vacation to Hawaii or Mexico or something like that, and we plan it a year in advance, and we know what the week is marked out on the calendar, and you spend time shopping for the hotel and getting the clothes. And you spend probably a total of weeks, if not months, of effort and time preparing for this week vacation that you're going to go away on for 7 days of your life, or 3 days even sometimes of your life. To go do this thing, right? And you put so much thought and effort into it. Yet, you are going to, when you think of the total amount of time, the way you show up to your house when you get home from work, those first 10 to 15 minutes when you see your spouse, that time over your lifetime is like 60 vacations. Yet, you spend no time, and that time is so powerful on how your night goes with your partner. And yet you just disregard those first 10 minutes when you walk in that door. And how many times do you walk in that door and you carry that shit that you just got out of at work into the conversation, or worse, you just ignore your spouse? I'm 100% guilty of this. And that's why it hit me like a ton of bricks when he said it. And I went, oh my God, I've never thought about those first 10 minutes. It's never even crossed my mind as a thing, right? Like sometimes I come in and I'm in a great mood. Other times I come in and I'm not in such a great mood. So I began this practice a long time ago. First time I had heard that, which was years ago, where when I come home from work, no matter good day or bad day, I shut the car off and I sit in the car for like 5 minutes.
That's so good for you, though. Like, it is so good for you.
It's just, I just sit there. It's silence. Radio's off, things off, and I just sit for a minute and I'm like, I'm about to go I'm CEO Adam is turning off, and dad and husband Adam is about to happen. And then I took it another step further. The very first thing I do every single day, I walk in my door. I walk straight over to my wife, kiss my son, and then I walk straight upstairs and I go put my dad clothes on. I go put my sweats and a different t-shirt on.
I'm the same. I do the sweats, the baggy outfit.
That's right. Every single time I do it, and it's almost like because sometimes I wear sweats to work. I put on a different pair of sweats. Okay, this is how crazy, ridiculous this is, because I have a job where I can wear sweats and a t-shirt to work. I will go and change the sweats, change the t-shirt, and that is me putting on my new uniform. And and then dad comes downstairs, and like that has been also, it's so impactful.
So huge.
On my relationship of just pausing and doing that. And I can't stress enough how powerful that can be. And it sounds ridiculous. And again, maybe it takes some practice, because you have habits of not doing that. So it wasn't like I turned it on and I was good at it right away. It was like a lot of times I forgot. And then guess what? I made some mistakes. And my wife, hey, you didn't kiss me. You just walked in the door. Like, oh my God, today was the day I didn't sit in the driveway. And so but after a while, it becomes intentional, and I have habit around it. And then now it becomes this thing. And so it's so powerful and has helped me a lot. Sal was just sharing with me right before we got on right now, something that him and his wife do. He took something from we pay for this group called Mentor Family, super great group. And it's a group that is famous for mentoring some of the most successful families, not just financially successful, but like generational, their kids surpassing what you've done. And so we've gotten all these great tools. One of the great tools that we've all gotten from this is learning to speak identity into our children. So before I put my son to bed, every night I speak identity into him. So I let him know that you are smart, you are strong, you are brave, you are kind, you are a leader, and you can do all things you put your mind to. And so I tell him that every single night, and it's such a powerful thing, because if you don't speak identity into your kid,
someone else will.
Someone else will. And so it's something that we've all practiced. Sal was just telling me before I go on with you right now that he's like, hey, I've been doing that with my wife. He goes, we both sat down and wrote that for each other, and we've just practiced saying it to each other every single night. Again.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Super powerful for a relationship. So I thought that was cool. I thought that was really cool that they do that. And so, and obviously sit down for a minute with your spouse, think about these things that you respect so much or love about them, write 3 to 5 of them down, and you each do that for each other. And then just every night, just say it to each other. Again, being intentful, do that, practice that, watch what it probably will do for your marriage. And I think if we focus on this, it's kind of like how we always tell people on the podcast who like ask about macros and all these things. It's like, just cut out processed foods. Like, I know everybody on the internet is talking about all these things and what about insulin and what about this? It's like, if you just cut out processed foods, like you'd be amazed and try to hit your protein intake. It's like, it's wild how everything else kind of falls into place. I feel the same way if you're intentful with the things that we've talked about today with your relationship. It's crazy how the other things will just kind of fall in place. I know I didn't say we didn't talk about macros. I didn't talk about the perfect workout routine or what exercise to do or how many minutes. It's like, but if you do that and you talk about the things I talked about with choosing good foods and caring about each other and then allowing each other to go back and forth, like get to the gym 2 or 3 times a week, eat healthy, be on the same page as your partner, watch what happens. Like a lot of things will fall into place and you're going to be pretty damn healthy.
Oh yeah, big time. And I like the whole analogy of the planning for vacation versus like planning for like home. Like I almost think of like you spend like a year planning your wedding, but like do you spend time planning your marriage? Like a lot of people don't. And so I think that's such a good way to frame it because I don't think a lot of people, it almost becomes check boxes, it's like meet the guy, get married, have kids, and then it's like this giant gap of 20 or 30 years before your kids like leave the house. And then it's like, what happened, right? You like miss these other things in between. So I think that's huge because I see a lot of women who hit that point where kids leave the house and then they're just like, whoa, like it's such a huge shock as to like what their life is actually like. And they're like, how did we get here? How did I let my health get this way? My marriage isn't what I thought it was going to be. And it's because we just have this massive gap of like, we have these milestones and then there's just this in between of life that we just kind of forgot about. That's
really speaking to what we kind of talked about earlier. And I see it a lot too, but both men and women. Super common to see a man who retires from work, kids are away, and then depression sinks in. Yeah. Like he worked his whole life to send his kids to school, get their degrees, do their thing, get to retirement, and then he's like miserable and depressed. Yeah. And a lot of times what happens is they lose sight of themselves. They lose sight of the partnership and the marriage that they got into. And they were so focused on doing the thing, right? On what everybody tells you to do is you work, get to retirement, get the kids through college, you think, and they divide. And that's why the foundation of this whole conversation started with me talking about her surrendering the calendar. Yeah. She has say of we stay connected. We always, it's you and I first, even before our son. It's you and I first, and everything else that flows from that. And so we have to stay there because so many people lose themselves taking care of the thing. You go get the bills, you got the kid, you take the house, I'll take that. And you real easily, you become roommates who are just attacking life. And because you're doing the things that everybody says you're doing, which is getting them through school and all the things, so with that, you think you're winning at it. It's like you completely grow apart from each other. And then again, back to like the why I like the listening to an audiobook. Those are all things that grow you back together. Yeah. Right? Like us taking a time of vacation or getting away every other week, just her and I, like that's time for us to reconnect and grow together. Like us listening to an audiobook, time to reconnect, grow together. Speaking identity to each other, reconnect, grow together. Like that is so crucial to the foundation of your health. If you do those things really well, and having that conversation of, hey, let's make this year one of our healthiest fit years. What do you say? Like, hell yeah. I like that. By the way, too, this was a hack from, if you have not listened to the Adam Lane Smith episodes that we've done. I don't know if you've heard any of the ones that we've interviewed him. Yep. Some of my favorite interviews. Also, another massive hack for men. And I'm going to, it's vasopressin. Am I saying that hormone right? Is released when we set a goal and we accomplish it. And for men, that's like what oxytocin is, the bonding hormone for women. And so one of the most powerful things that for all the women that are listening right now to connecting and bonding with your man is to agree upon a goal in the marriage and set it and go after it. You want to see your husband like lock in and connect and have the best sex you've ever had, set a goal. It could be financial, it could be fitness, it could be building a project, it could be working on something with the kids, but set a goal together, agree upon any goal, whatever it is, and work towards that goal and watch what happens when you and him accomplish that goal together. It is a massive hack. It floods the body with that connection hormone for the women, the vasopressin. I keep saying it wrong. I know I am. And those two combined are what we each need. It is such a powerful thing. And also, I think that's something I fell into, having a wife who builds a business with me that I didn't know.
For sure.
I had like when he was teaching that and we were listening, I went, oh my God, that's so crazy. That makes so much sense. Like Katrina and I, like one of the best times of the year for us, a big part of her business or part of what she does for the business is manage all of our partnerships. And we do our best of even though we work and run this company together, we try and actually do it kind of independently. So we're not like seeing each other every minute. But there's a time in the period of time where we really have to come together a lot. And that's at the end of the year when our partnership contracts are up and we're renewing for the next year. I'm involved in a lot of that. So is she. And it's always some of the most intimate times of the year for us. And like that was like this aha thing for me, like, oh, I know why. It's because like we have all these like financial goals that like, and we're working together as a team and we're accomplishing it and we're getting these big wins. And it's like, oh, that's no wonder we have this incredible chemistry during that time. That's what's happening. So obviously not everybody works with their spouse. And so the way you hack into that at home for the average person is choose something, whether it be a goal for your child, whether it be a goal for each other, whether it be financial, whatever, and make it reasonable, make it something you can work towards and go work towards it together. It could be listening to audiobooks, whatever, and go attack that goal together and watch what it does for the connection in the relationship. Other stuff will follow up.
I love that. Oh man, everybody needs to listen to this. There's so many good little things that just implementing that can make such a huge difference. Because like, it's true. If your relationship and like house life is good, it is so much easier to literally tackle anything. Because like you have a place where you feel like safe and you can communicate and you can express how you feel and you know there's connection there, and so it makes everything just so much easier. Oh, yes. Love this.
Yes.
Love. Well, thank you so much, Adam, for being on. This was fantastic. I always love our conversations. Is there anything you want to share or anything with anyone to close things up here at all?
Oh, I feel like I said a lot. I think that the last thing that I would say to everybody, because I know like you get this fitness guy on here, right? They're like, he didn't tell us anything about exercise. We didn't get any macros. It's like, I thought we were going to get help with this stuff. Who is this fitness? But I mean, what I'm speaking from is somebody who's been doing this for 26 years now of my life and have helped hundreds, thousands of people. And, I've distilled it down to the things that really move the needle. I could take anybody and break down macros and do in the best aesthetic, but the things that are going to fundamentally change your life forever and make you healthy long-term, the stuff that we talked about is the foundation for relationships. If you're in a relationship, that stuff is the thing that you fix first. And then those other things that we talked about. And then listen, if you did all the things I talked about and you never counted a macro, you never even got a great workout program, but you just did the stuff I said, you're gonna get so far there that like, okay, then we can get to the next level and like, okay, we can get really into the granular stuff of like measuring macros and like tweaking your exercise program to get you to a whole nother level. But it's like what we talked about today, if most people really just were intentional about implementing in that life, you are going to be really freaking healthy. I promise you.
And happy.
Yes, and happy, which is such an important piece of all this, right?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Adam. And I hope you guys all enjoyed the podcast. And you guys can go check them out at Mind Pump. If you don't know who they are, you should. So you can check them out at Mind Pump. All the things, podcast, YouTube, Facebook, like everywhere. It's everywhere. So thank you.
Thank you.